What's up, guys? Welcome to my very first C++ programming tutorial. My name is Chela from CK Tutorials. This is a beginner's tutorial. If you are new to this channel, consider subscribing, share, like, notification, hit the notification bell, and please leave a comment. If you have been here, thank you for coming back to watch my videos. Let's go straight into the video. In today's lesson, I'm going to introduce you to the very beginning, the very introduction of C++. So this video, we are going to discuss what C++ is, and then we're also going to look at who is behind C++, when it was developed, and then we're going to see other stuff as we are going on. Look, let's work out with me. So what is C++? C++ is a general purpose programming language, okay, and it is a middle level programming language. So actually, C++, like if you have watched my previous video that I produced, I said we write programs, we write source codes that are in high level language, and we need a program that is going to translate this high level language into machine codes. So we write source code. This source code are compiled in C++ and translated to machine code. So this is how it moves. From a source code, you have a compiler that compiles this program, and that program is turned into machine code. So machine code is just a language that a computer understands. It is in zeros and ones. That's a binary language. So who designed C++? C++ was designed and implemented by Jen Strostrap in 1979 at Bell Labs. So this is the guy who is behind C++ programming. He was a Danish computer scientist, and really he did the best thing that he could do to come up with a C++ programming. He deserved to be known. Actually, we need to quote him in everything that we are doing for the great job that he made. What's the origin of C++? That could be a question. The origin and the platform. Where can we learn our C++ program? The origin of C++. C++ is actually an extension of C programming language. Okay, it's an extension of C programming language. So C++ came from C. That's what we mean by an extension of C programming language. The first language that was existing was C, and then from C programming language, they came up with C++. Okay, that was in 1979. So the additions include the addition in this language of C++ from C to C++. What was added is actually the classes, okay, and it was first called C with classes. Before it was named C++, the name was C with classes. Okay, so it runs on variety platforms such as Mac, Windows, Linux, and Unix, and different operating systems. You can run this C++ program. So I want to talk about this additional part of ++, where it came from. So I want you to understand this. If you have a bit knowledge of programming, you have learned about increment and increment and decrement operators. Maybe even there is a concept in C++ that is called increment and postfix operators. This concept is a concept that enables a value to be incremented or added by one. So if I suppose I write, I have this value called, I have a value, I'm trying to get a pen. So if C is my variable that I have, and I want to increment this C or add the 1 to this C, I'm going to put this. I can put it either like this. Talking about postfix, it becomes C++. If it's I, if I want to add 1 to I can do this. I put ++. That means I'm updating whatever value that this variable I is having by 1. Same applies here. I'm updating whatever value that this C is having by 1. So C++ actually came from these kind of concepts. We are trying to increment, or we are trying to update we are trying to update the values that we're trying to update the things that C had, or everything that C had. We are trying to add up some more. So in other words, we understand that C++ will perform better than C, is going to be better than C because of that kind of additional stuff. Why C++? Okay, C++ is powerful than C because it is actually, and it has got additional elements that were not in C programming language, such as classes and objects and other stuffs. So it also supports data abstraction. We're going to learn about this concept as we are going on. As it also support data, it also support generic programming, which is so good whenever we come to programming, if you want to become a proper software programmer. So it also supports OOP, which is object-oriented programming. Now, in this, you should not worry much about these terms that I've used here because we are going to cover them in this in our program. If you follow me, you keep on watching my YouTube videos, you're going to learn about this. So OOP itself, it has got so many things that comes with OOP. Object-oriented programming, we're going in OOP concept of C++. We are going to learn classes and object inheritance, encapsulation, abstraction, polymorphism, attributes, methods, and likes. Different kind of that we're going to learn in OOP itself. These are the features that are additional to C++ that might not be there in C programming language. So the course outline that we are going to have in our lessons, the course outline that we are going to be following is the following. This is the course outline. We are going to look at elementary programming, variables and data types. We're going to look at strings, look at basic predefined functions. We are going to talk about decisions and repetition structures. We are also going to talk about array of functions, arrays, classes, pointer structures. Then we go to object-oriented programming, and then lastly we are going to look at searching and sorting algorithms. Now, I've talked about predefined functions. I've also said functions. What you need to know is that as we're going to start discussing about functions, we'll understand that there are functions that comes with a compiler, or functions that are predefined. They are sometimes called built-in functions. They come with compiler. You just call those functions and they're able to work for you in a program. Then there are functions that are user-defined. Like you yourself, you create a function, those becomes user-defined functions. We're going to see how we can define our own functions, be able to work with this. So what you need to understand is that these are just major topics that I've listed. Okay, for example, when we talk about when we talk about decision and repetitive structures, we are going to cover if statements, which we're going to talk about looping structures. They are under that topic. When we talk about functions, we're going to talk about recursive functions and the like. Talk about these issues of we start talking about arrays. We're going to talk about multi-dimensional arrays, single-dimensional arrays, parallel arrays, different types of arrays that are there. And we talk about searching algorithms. We're going to talk about a lot of concepts that are there in searching and sorting algorithms, bubble sort, linear sort, and different kind of searching algorithms that they're going to talk about. So please, if you have not subscribed to this channel, do not miss out. Just subscribe, and then we are going to go through together. So elementary programming is simply an introduction. Actually, it's nothing like, it's not even anything difficult, but it's just an introduction to programming. Like what I'm doing right now, I'm doing an introduction to programming. So we are going to go through step by step. First, we're going to have an intro to programming, understand it. After that, we're going to move to another steps. Now, why you need to have whenever you are coding? First of all, I want to tell you this, that you do not need to have prior knowledge of C++ programming or any programming language. Since you are saying C++ coming from C, then you panic to say, maybe I need to know C++ before learning C. You do not need all that. Actually, what you just need is only an IDE, integrated development environment. And in this program, we are going to be using two IDEs, the code blocks and dev C++. I'm going to run you in the next video on how you can download this. Just tune in and please remember to subscribe.